joined once again by Stephen Jackson, who's a teammate of Kawhi's in San Antonio.
Yep. I need help on this. Yeah. I need some wisdom, some insight.
We all do.
Yep.
What's going on here?
Well, me knowing Kawhi, like I said, I spoke to him about a month ago when he had this second injury, second injury. I called him and asked him, was everything good, because it was reports of things not being good in paradise and him not being hurt. It was supposed to be a lie. But I called him, he said he's fine and everything's good in paradise. So that's all I can go by. I'm hearing it from the horse's mouth. Me knowing Kawhi, he wants to be in the talks with KD, LeBron. He wants to be one of the greats, top 5 players. Right. And he approaches the game like it. So for him not to be playing right now, it's more than what we know.
Right.
Or he's actually hurt. And I just don't see him not playing because of other reasons besides physical reasons, And Pop, Pop won't hold the guy out for his personal reasons. Pop's all about the team. He's all about winning. So I can only think that he's really hurt and they're doing what's best for him. But something's telling me that there's more to the story that we don't know.
Vibranium. That vibranium get you right.
Yep.
Maybe he's just feeling better. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, that he heard what Pop said. I bet you a doorknob to a bucket of cow manure that Kawhi Leonard don't even own a TV. He don't hear nothing. He don't hear nothing about what Pop says, Skip. And that guy, his mentality, Skip, he marched to, he does his own thing. He ain't paying no attention to what nobody says, Skip. I'm telling you, his personality, he has the personality that it's implosive. He doesn't say a whole lot. It bottles up. But when it blows, it blows. So he's just going about his business. Hey, I got this little thing. It's still bothering me. I know what y'all saying, but I don't feel good. I've never felt that he was like, maybe he's trying to hold them hostage. He wants out or he had a grudge against somebody. I really thought he was hurt. It's hard for me to believe. I don't know him that well, but it's hard for me to believe that he would just, I'm not playing.
That ain't in his character.
No, it doesn't strike me as
I didn't think it was in his character.
Well, dang, Skip, what you trying to say, Skip? What you trying to say, Skip?
Come on with it, Skip.
Get off your chest.
Something ain't right here.
It ain't.
I know he went back, I think in part because he was shamed into going back. I believe that. I'm going to say it one more time, and this man knows what of I speak. To me, this is the best organization in sports, especially when it comes to being patient with players' injuries. Knick-knack injuries, no problem.
Right.
Take as much time as you need. Especially when it comes to rehabbing injuries, this team has been at the forefront, the New England Patriots of the NBA, in how to treat injuries. And all of a sudden, it got called out by a Kawhi Leonard who took biggest issue with how they asked him to rehab what to me was not a traumatic injury. He took a knee in the thigh, and it did hurt, damage somewhat his tendon as it connected to the knee, down by the knee, and it stayed sore. And he did not like how they said to rehab it, whatever, I don't know all the details of what they said, do this, do that, and he said, that hurts. No, that's how we've always done it. No, that hurts. And it got so bad that he split, and he went to another surgeon, and he went to another physical therapist, and he defied them. And he said, you don't get it, I'm hurt. And they flat out said, we clear you to play. That's the Spurs saying that. It's not the Sacramento Kings saying it, and you saying, I don't think I trust the management of the Kings. Right. I trust these people. I don't always like Pop. You didn't always like Pop. But I believe in the strength at the top of this franchise. And this is the first star that's ever defied the whole franchise. You had your issues with Coach Popovich, but you respected the organization.
By far.
You just did. Everybody does. No one, the Duncans, Ginobilis, Parkers, nobody ever disrespected the organization. It never came to that.
Right.
And I'm just torn up over this because it's so wrong. And I do believe there was extraordinary pressure on a Kawhi Leonard who'd never had this much expectation pressure put upon his shoulders, that all of a sudden, last year it was like, no Tim Duncan, but it's Kawhi and LaMarcus, who, sort of jointly, they'll shoulder the new load with no Tim Duncan. And it came to pass in the playoffs. You could see LaMarcus, he couldn't quite bear up under that burden. And then Kawhi got hurt against Golden State, and the rest is history. And then we come into this year, and I don't know, about half the analysts I read, starting with Chris Broussard here at Fox,
Man,
picked
the MVP.
Kawhi to be the MVP of this
Right.
league.
Yep.
And I think it was a lot on him. And I think it's hard because he wasn't cut from this cloth. You know him. He came from a tough upbringing, and he never was the guy until all of a sudden he was a late bloomer.
Right.
Nobody saw this. That was the steal of the century in the
That's what Pop
draft,
does. He
right?
always finds
But
one, yeah.
Skip, you trying
They
to
traded George Hill for Kawhi Leonard effectively for that pick.
Skip,
Really?
you talking about Coach Popovich
Yeah.
shamed him into
Yeah.
coming back. Did you see his Jack Leg commercial? If he wasn't shamed at that commercial that he made when he was looking like
That's fair.
looking like show enough,
Yeah.
nothing's gonna shame him.
All right.
I just believe Skip. I
Who he look like? Show enough.
show
Last
enough.
Dragon.
Who's the best? Skip. It's just hard for me to believe that someone of his caliber, his talent. I mean, like you said, he's in the MVP discussion. He finished second last. What did he finish second last year? Third. Finished third.
Third.
Harden was second. Finished third. Two-time All-NBA, two-time Defensive Player of the Year. That this guy would not be out there if he wasn't hurt. Now, I've had a thigh bruise. Now, I'm telling you what I did. I had a thigh bruise my rookie year in Denver. And I'm trying to make the team, Skip. And you know what they do? You know how them thigh bruises. Dude told me, say, man, what you need to do is sleep with your leg bent. I put a belt around my leg and slept with it bent the whole night. Man, I had a knot so big in my leg. So, and I had to play. I ain't have the luxury of Kawhi. You know, Kawhi can take as much time as he needs. Skip, I had to be out. I'm up there hobbling and like I'm on one leg. So I know thigh bruise can be painful.
I got it.
And he said, I mean, they say this tibulopathy or whatever it is, Skip. It says a disease of the tendon. It might be. And maybe he's just feeling better, Skip. What about that?
Maybe.
Had that ever, you know, you,
Oh, I
one
hope
day
so.
you feel bad and you just wake up one day, Joe, and you feel good. You're like, yeah, I feel good today.
For no apparent
Tie
reason.
a belt around your leg.
Because I couldn't sleep, because I needed to sleep with it bent the whole night. I couldn't hold it there the whole night because, you know, you're going to stretch it out.
That-
If the belt,
That's a tough injury to have.
Yeah,
so
it is.
It's definitely hard to push off, but to go back to what you touched on, not only the Spurs one of the best organizations, but they're one of the best organizations that care about their players,
Right.
not just about basketball. And that's why a lot of guys respect Pop, because he's care about you on and off
Yeah.
the court. And that's why it's kind of hard to figure out what's going on.
Right.
Because you got the Pop that's a father figure type that really cares about guys, and he might want the best for Kawhi.
Yeah.
Then you have the situation where, okay, I need you on the team, but if we say you healthy and you don't feel healthy, now you bumping heads with Kawhi and coach, and that's something that's never happened. So that's why it's hard to see what's going on, because you don't know if it's Kawhi pulling or you don't know if it's Pop's pulling. And normally you never see the star player and Pop go through the situation. So
You
it's
do
new to
not.
everybody.
And when Greg Popovich stood up and made that statement coming out of the All-Star break, he basically said, I'm done with Kawhi. We're going onward and upward. We're moving on without him.
look at it, Kawhi. That's how Kawhi looked at Pop when he was making that statement. Look at Kawhi looking over there.
He don't show no emotion now.
Exactly.
He don't show
so
no
he ain't
emotion.
paying no attention. He don't pay attention to nobody.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.